Well, news just coming in. In fact, we are now learning that Seema Patra has been arrested. Do remember that there was talk of the fact that she was absconding. She's accused of brutally torturing her maid. The BJP, of course, has suspended her. Prakash is on the phone line with us. Good morning, Prakash. Prakash, give us more details of how this arrest took place. We know that she was absconding.
Well, yes, till yesterday night she was absconding, and on the basis of investigations done and on the basis of the statement made by Sunita in the court under 164, and after that Vivek Bosky also filed an FIR, of which Republic TV has assessed the FIR copy. Seema Patra was nabbed yesterday late night. And she's been kept in the police station under the charges. Now that the BJP has also suspended her from the party. But the point of view is that she's been nabbed under the SC/ST Act after a detailed FIR was lodged after the ordeal that Sunita faced over a period of time, and the way she was tortured and mentally harassed, and the way she was saved by Seema Patra's son. She has narrated the entire story. Now, she will undergo medical test in some time, and after that, she will also do the explanation as to what happened to her in the house for 8 years, the way she moved to Delhi, and then thereafter she came to Ranchi. And as far as Seema Patra is concerned, she has been nabbed after the Jharkhand governor also sought a report from the DGP yesterday night after we ran the story on Republic TV. And late last evening or late last night, we may say, she was nabbed by the police.
Right, absolutely. Prakash, as you've been pointing out, Republic TV has been, reporting on this story since yesterday, since the visuals first came of the brutality, the sheer brutality with which, this BJP leader is accused of having treated her household help. The poor household help, of course, had to seek help to be able to talk about the ordeal that she's gone through for 8 years.
Well, yes, that's what she alleged, that she was not allowed to even have proper food, and she was tortured, mentally harassed, beaten, assaulted. And what we get to know from the police is that there are injury marks on her body as well. Medical investigations are being done. She is still in the hospital in RIMS in Ranchi. She's undergoing treatment. After that, she will also make a further statement in the court. Now that Seema Patra has been nabbed, we get to know that the basic things are being done in the police station. Thereafter, she would be produced in the court because it's a case registered under SC/ST Act, harassment and
right.
torturing.
Prakash, just hold your thoughts for a minute. I'm going to come back to you. Mr. Sarangi on the phone line with us from the BJP. Mr. Sarangi, action finally be taken. She's been arrested, but the sheer brutality of how she behaved with the domestic help obviously does raise several questions.
Absolutely, and by no stretch of imagination, this kind of a behavior, this kind of an attitude is acceptable, and our party has made it very clear. Our state president made it very clear yesterday itself that she has already been suspended, and if the allegations are found to be true, will surely be dismissed from the party. And she has also been arrested today, and we want the state government to take the strictest punishment possible, take the strictest action possible against her, because anybody, whosoever it is, if he or she is doing anything which is against the spirit of our constitution, BJP is not going to tolerate this. We have zero tolerance policy for any behavior like this.
Right, Mr. Sarangi, thank you for speaking to us on Republic TV. I'm going to go back to Prakash Singh, who's still with us on the phone line. So here's the details that we are getting right now. Seema Patra has finally been nabbed by the police. She was arrested late last night. This, of course, after Republic TV's continuous campaign after pictures of a domestic help being abused, physically violated and abused by the BJP leader had come to the floor. the sheer amount of brutality and mental torture that this young woman went through, of course, has now forced action. She, of course, is also the wife of an IAS officer, Seema Patra. The Jharkhand governor had also sought a report from the government as to what had happened. Prakash Singh back on the phone line with us. Now, Prakash, we were just talking to the BJP spokesperson over there. The BJP, of course, has initiated action. But largely, you know, Prakash, the question also does arise, how does this go unknown for about 8 years? She goes to Delhi and, you know, she's also the wife of an IAS officer. So obviously, there are a lot of loopholes in the system which allow for something like this to continuously go on for about 8 years.
Well, she's been living with the family for 8 years, but what she narrated about the incident was for the past 1 or 2 years, ever since she came back from Delhi to Ranchi. And somehow she managed to send a text message to one person called Vivek Baspi, who filed an FIR in the Argora police station, and thereafter an FIR was launched, and she was somehow rescued from the house and taken to the RIMS hospital for treatment in Ranchi. And after that, we
All right. Prakash, I'm just going to come back to you in a minute. Paresh Tiwari from the JMM also on the phone line with us. Mr. Tiwari, good morning. Mr. Tiwari, she's finally been arrested after Republic TV's campaign for about 12 hours. But questions, of course, remain as to how this was allowed to go on for so long.
Good morning. It is very best campaign and debate conducted by Republic TV. Now the accused is behind the bar, and court will do justice for Sunita.
Ji. But Mr. Tiwari, the question also is that, you know, this BJP leader, who's of course now been suspended, was obviously quite drunk on her power, because we are told that she would often beat up the domestic help. It's only after the intervention of her son that she would stop.
This is the mockery of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao movement of the BJP and the government of India. Such kind of person who is deputed as convener of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao movement. This is called mockery of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao movement.
Right, Mr. Paresh Tiwari from the JMM, thank you very much for speaking to us on Republic TV. Right, Nivedana, of course, also continues to be with us from our Delhi newsroom. Nivedana, finally, Republic TV's campaign over the past 12 hours paying off. We are given to understand that she was arrested late last night. The BJP, of course, has taken action against her, but there are many questions that still remain.
Right, Napur, this is of course a big breakthrough after Republic's campaign as well. Now, initially, of course, if you see the development of this particular story as well, she was suspended following the accusations, but now this big breakthrough coming in with the fact that she has been arrested. In fact, Republic TV had also accessed a complaint filed by Vivek Anand Baski, a station officer in Department of the Personal and Administrative Reforms, who is the friend of Seema's son, Ayush Patra. And in the complaint, Baski highlighted how one day he was told by Ayushman that Seema is going to kill the maid. Now, these were the revelations made in that exclusive complaint that Republic TV had access. So this is definitely a big breakthrough that is coming in after suspend phone line with us. Brinda, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, it's a big breakthrough with the fact that BJP leader Seema Patra has now been arrested. Your initial reactions on this, considering the fact that, the horrific nature of abuse against the person in question. So what is your first reaction about the fact that she's now been arrested?
I'm glad that she has been arrested, because her barbaric actions, the way she has treated and tortured that domestic help, simply because she's a Dalit lady are done by a lot of people in power. It is not only in the BJP, but somebody in the BJP is expected to uphold higher morals and higher values because of our Prime Minister and all the principles that he upholds. And that is why it is frustrating that somebody who's from the BJP, a leader, a woman, has the gall to traumatize and torture somebody who's not in the same social and economic status like the Adivasi lady. She, being a leader, should have actually been a better person. Instead, she has gone all out with impunity to abuse her position and her power with the political party. And I'm glad that the police have taken action. Now we just have to see that a proper charge sheet is filed and she is put away for life.
Brinda, talking about action as well, the National Commission, for Women took cognizance of the incident. So in that purview, what is the kind of action that they can actually take under, like, what sections, if you could shed light on that, with us, because these are certainly, allegations that are leveled are pretty intense.
You're absolutely right, but National Commission of Women is just a recommendatory body. And they probably must do a lot more training with all the women and the men, educate them and make them understand the need to take care of people who are there working with them. That said, I think it is time for the police not only to register torture, trauma and assault, but attempt to murder should also be filed as IPC, because this lady seems to be in no position even to walk and talk from what we see on your TV channel. That is why attempt to murder should be also another section that is applied where her case is concerned.